I'm streaming on YouTube.
All right, guys, we are now being live streamed on YouTube. And as always, I tell you guys, when you're on this show, when you're on the Southwest Florida TechNet in Zoom, you are one of the hosts. You're part of the show. And I appreciate everybody being here. And if your video or audio are on, your likeness will be broadcast live to the world on YouTube and then stored for all of prosperity, maybe watched 100 years from now, and they'll laugh and point at what we're talking about.
The last
All
discussion.
right, this is the Southwest Florida TechNet, and we are broadcasting worldwide on YouTube, and we are using Zoom as our platform. And I'd like to welcome everybody tonight. This is sponsored by the Southwest Florida Tech Team and other tech teams as we get them started around the country and the Southwest Florida WatchNet. Okay, everybody, thank you for being here tonight. I know it was a crazy start. For those on YouTube, I know we're joining late, and I apologize for that. Couldn't be helped. Joseph's on the way to a live event that we're going to be broadcasting to you here in just a few minutes, and you can already see that there on his camera. When we go to Joseph tonight, I ask that everyone please mute their audio. We've had some issues in the past when we do tours and walkthroughs and presentations where people's mics are open and the back every time there's a bang or a noise in the background, it brings the camera back to that person instead of the tour that we're on or the class that we're watching or whatever. So anytime we're not in a discussion and we're watching something, just try to remember to mute your mic. And that will keep the mic centered on the presentation that we're watching. Does that make sense? Because any noise that comes over your mic would then bring the camera back to your house and interrupt the whatever we're watching or whatever. So I just wanted to bring that up. I got several emails recently on another one that we did because the camera just kept flipping around while they were trying to watch what was going on. Okay, so we're gonna give him just a few more minutes here. He's talking to them about what he's going to do and how he's going to do it. They are really set up there. He's told me some really neat things about this group up there. So looking forward to seeing what's going on with all that. All right, let me go ahead while we're doing that. I just want to go revisit last week. You guys know that last week we installed the Signal Link box here in my shack, and I mentioned earlier. I think it actually seems to.
All right.
All right, you ready?
Well, I don't know what you mean by ready. My plan was to set the camera up on a tripod. You can mute me at any time if you want to talk about something else. When they do the actual meeting, I'm going to set the phone on the tripod, and then I'm going to just sit down in a chair and just let the phone sit there on the side. You can mute my mic if you want or anything, which is probably a good idea to go ahead and mute me because you'll probably want to talk about something else. But when it comes to time for the build, then I'll pick up the camera and I'll go around. They're starting now, so.
All right, so
you do whatever you want with my feed.
Okay, you go to your meeting and let me know when we'll be watching, and let me know when you're going to come in for your part of it, and I'll go back to you.
All right, awesome.
All right, very good. All right, so I'll mute him, and we'll come back to him. They're going to do a little meeting first, and then they're going to be doing a build. That looks like a really neat place. It's like a museum. It's like a radio museum. I hope they'll tell us about it. But they literally have their meetings and their builds in a radio museum. So I don't know. I have to admit I'm a little envious of some of the things I see in other areas. Like I wish we could do that here, and of course some of that we are doing here. Okay, so while he's doing that, let's get back into what we are going to discuss tonight, which is I wanted to bring up to date on a couple of projects that we've been working on, and I also wanted to discuss, and let's go and do that right now. Coming up this Thursday, we're going to start the first Southwest Florida WatchNet. It's going to be on the 775 repeater. You don't need to write this down because I'm going to send out a reminder to everybody over our email blast, which goes out to like 200 people. I'm going to send that out so you guys will know it's coming. But Thursday night, we're going to do a net. Now, right now, I don't have any internet connectivity to that net, but eventually that's the plan. So for those of you who are out of town, hang in there because I'm hoping that we can eventually get it to where everybody can join in on that net. The net's going to be really simple. There's not big long preambles or anything like that. We're going to just have it's going to be a basic net. I'm going to take check-ins one at a time. And when you check in, we're going to give you an opportunity to make any announcements and basically do the first round during check-ins. It's a little bit different. I'm taking what I learned from 3 different areas and I'm compressing it into one hybrid net. We're going to see if this works. The first round and the check-in round are actually the same. And what we're going to do is I'm going to go, okay, this is the Southwest Florida WatchNet. I'm going to have a short preamble that explains what we do. And then I'm basically going to say, we're now taking check-ins to the Southwest Florida WatchNet. We're going to take check-ins one at a time like they do on the Charlotte County nets. And when we get your check-in, we'll respond to you, and then we'll get your announcements, and we'll get your first round all done at one time. So basically, it'll go like this. Now taking check-ins. Okay? Rick checks in. This is K4RAB. K4RAB Rick in Fort Myers. I've got you checked in, Rick. How are you doing tonight? Any announcements or what you got for us on the first round? Not much going on here. I got my new antenna up and I'm working on this and I don't have any announcements. Okay, Rick, now let's take check-ins from the next person. Okay, the next person, this is Dallas, N4DDM. Okay, hey, Dallas, go ahead with your first round and any announcements that you have. And that's how we're going to basically do the first round. So check-ins and the first round and announcements will all happen during the first round. Then, after the first round, we'll make any announcements to the entire group from the net itself. And then we'll go through a second round that works just like normal, where we're just going to go back through the list again and give everybody a chance to react, respond, and then tell us anything else they've got going on. And then that's basically it. We're just doing like we do on other nets, where we're testing the capabilities and the availabilities of what we're going to be using during a storm. I'm hoping that in the next few weeks to get my HF WinLink up. I'm going to be trying to get my HF WinLink up, and I'm working on ways to install it now onto my wire so that I can keep it up even during bad weather. And I'm working on that right now. I'm moving my wire. I've got a new bigger pole I'm putting it on, and I'm doing a lot of things to harden my system so that I can keep it up during high winds and things like that. And I want to be able to keep the ability to send and receive emails outside the area without the internet. So that's kind of one of my big things I'm working on here. If we're going to do this WatchNet, one of the important things is for us to be able to relay information in and out of the area when we go down. I'm also working on, I'm going to be purchasing, I haven't made the order yet, but I am already decided I'm going to purchase one of these really long, like 20 element UHF beams, and I'm going to put it up about 25, 30 feet. I'm going to see if I can beam that one down in North Naples. I don't think Dave's with us tonight. I don't see him, but I want to get to those guys down in Naples so that they can relay through us, because I'm going to have good contact with Charlotte, and then they have good contact north to Ruskin. So I want to try to make sure that we can get all that established here before hurricane season starts. But anyway, that net's going to start. I'm going to have the full procedure all typed out with the preamble and everything exactly how it's going to work, and all that'll be sent out on Wednesday evening, 24 hours before the net. And then I'll probably send out another reminder about 20 minutes before it starts, just to try to get some people in there for that first night. So for those of you who are local, please try to be in tomorrow, this coming Thursday, right after the Gab Fest. And if you haven't done the Gab Fest, join Charles and John, AA4JS. They both do a great Gab Fest. It's a simplex. And I'll be on there, and then I'll get home, and that usually never runs more than 20 or 25 minutes. So at 8:30, we'll start the Southwest Florida WatchNet. That way we're not in conflict with any of the other nets in any of the 5 counties. Does anybody have any comments or questions on that?
Do I have, am I on the screen? Can you all hear me?
Yeah, we got you, Dallas.
All right, let me. Yeah, I'm trying to do like 4 things at once. All right, so are y'all gonna ever get to the point where y'all gonna try this on an HF net?
I'm
Since
not opposed. I'm not opposed to that.
my 2-meter rig ain't gonna make it that far.
No, I know you would need a 93 element Yagi,
And that's a signal off the moon.
and 1500 watts. Yeah, need some big, tall, high heels.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I am all for an HF net. I don't know how or when. Talk to me. What would we do? How would we do that? Would we do it like the same night, like right afterwards? Maybe see who we can hear over on 40 or something. I mean, is that what we're thinking?
Yep.
Sounds good to me.
40 might be the best one for that. My dog is scratching and making noises in the other room. Got to go figure out what the dog is doing. But yeah,
20 and 40, depending on day and night, is probably going to be where we would want to be.
Or 80. I would think 40 or 80. Or the what is it, 60-meter one? You know, there's a few channels on there.
Yeah, a lot of us can't get 60 though.
Your radio won't do it?
Nope. No, I looked up what to do to make my radio do it, and it involves all kinds of stuff. I have to dance around in circles. I have to get some chicken feet in a cauldron.
Pat your head and rub your tummy.
And that,
and hop on
and something about an ice pick and a plug. I don't know, but anyway, it was a lot of stuff I had to do to make my radio do it, and I don't think I wanted to do any of that to my radio.
Shakes his hind leg.
I was very surprised. I have to go in there and break 3 connections on the board. Then I have to close it all back up again, turn it on, and then I have to program like 7 different things. You have to go to this frequency, hit this button, hit this button, hit this button, go to this frequency, dance a little bit, go back to this frequency, hit 3 buttons, cup of coffee, and then and I'm like, I don't think I want to do. I don't know. So I'm kind of stuck right now because truthfully, I love my 2 radios and I don't want anything to happen to them. And I'm hoping that not long down the road I can get me a newer radio that would just do it out of the box, you know.
Yeah.
I want to ask: has anybody worked FT4 or FT8 on 60, and is anybody using it up there? Or I should say down there. No.
Yeah.
I'm kind of interested to see myself what's going on. Actually, I can monitor it. I guess I could just go there and monitor it, right? That'd be the thing to do. I'll just go there and monitor it with my second radio tomorrow and see if I.
And you checked that the previous owner of your radio did not do that Mars mod.
I did. Believe it or not, I checked. I went to them just to see if it would do it because they're both pre-owned radios, and yeah.
Okay.
I'll be honest. When I started in amateur radio, I wanted these big fancy radios and I couldn't afford none of them. And then all of a sudden, it's like I realized I could get all these cheap Chinese radios and they were fun. And then all my Chinese mobiles all burned up. They're all garbage. The portables are fine. Why is that? I've got 4 of those TYT mobiles. 2 of them were replacements for 2 others, and every one of them magic smoke. I got 1 left, and it's not putting out any transmit power. I use it as a receiver. I don't know what it is. The Baofangs, I have 11 Baofangs or TYT, HTs. Every single one of them still works as good as the day I bought them.
Yeah, but how often do you transmit with them?
Not a lot, and that's true. With the mobiles, I was doing a little more with them. I was doing a lot more nets and things like that. But the portables get more wear and tear. So I don't know. I've got the it's in my bag back here, but I've got my TYT, that UV 9000. I carry that thing. I've carried that thing everywhere I've gone for 18 months, and it's still the best radio ever. It's all beat up and scratched up. And it's a great radio. So I'm not going to spend a lot of money on a Yazoo or an ICOM handheld radio. I'm just not. The Chinese handhelds are fine. They're great. They work great. you go up to the $70 or $80 range with the TYTs, and you get an amazing 10-watt radio. It's actually 7 watts. But anyway, long story there. The mobiles, where am I at with mobiles? You know where I'm at with mobiles? I went all these different routes. I go to swap shops and I buy $25, $20 radios off the back of people's trucks. That's what I started doing. I've got 2 of these. They're Yaesu, the 2500s. It's just simply a UHF radio, and it's 32 channels. It's face programmable only. It's three different wattages up to 50, and I bought 2 of these. They're 15, 17-year-old radios, and they're still putting out 50 watts. I was like, yes. And they're beat up. They're old. They've been to hell and back in a war. I think one of them must have been in a tank. And they're the best radios I have. They're the best radios I have. And so now I'm into refurbishing like 15-year-old Yaesus and stuff. That's kind of what I'm getting into, because I'm having so much fun with these older radios. And I can have a lot more of those than I can have newer ones with my price range. So, but anyway, that's where I'm at right now. I've got 4 old 2-meter radios right now, and I've got 3 of them refurbished and working great, and the 4th one's working. So I've just got to replace a couple things in it. But I love those kind of radios. So 15, 20-year-old Yaesu 2-meter radios, you just can't kill them. These are mil spec. I mean, they're literally, when I look up the number, the one here was built in February of 2006, and it's a military spec amateur radio. You just can't beat that. So anyway, that's all I got to say about that. Any questions or comments on that? All right, so I'm gonna think about. I want to figure out how to do this, because I think you're right. Let's start the VHF net this week, and I may even start this. Let me get this together. I got to figure out where we go with frequency. I got to find an open frequency, and how are we going to do it? Would we like close the VHF net and saying, okay, guys, that's everybody. Now we're going to go over to this net at a certain time or something? I don't know how we're going to do it. I also am unclear exactly on the legalities of simulcasting. I've been looking into this a little bit, and I read some stuff from the FCC on it, and you're not allowed to broadcast. You're only allowed to make a transmission that is intended to be received by another person specifically. But if I'm having a conversation with Rick on the 440, and I'm having the same conversation with Dallas on the 40 meter, why couldn't, when I talk, it go out over both radios if I'm having a conversation with 3 people? It would basically be a repeater, right? So maybe what we need to do is set up a repeater. I don't know if that can even be done, but maybe that's the direction we could look at. I don't know. I've got so many things I'd like to do, but I don't know how. I want to do that though. I want to figure out a way to incorporate the HF in, because like Dallas, we could get something going with you on JSA call or something, and you could be one of our contact points. You know, we could have this all set up.
You could treat me as like you would if you were doing a over the seas phone patch.
Exactly.
You know, it would be, you know, just key your mic and I talk on 40 or 80 or whatever HF band, and as the audio is coming out of your speaker, you key your 2 meter or 440 rig and hold the microphone up to the speaker, and everybody gets to hear me.
Well, and I can actually go about 3 better than that. I actually have a repeater box that I've bought, and I hook one side of the repeater box up to the VHF UHF radio, and I hook the other side of the repeater box up to the HF rig, and I should be able to using the squelch and the volume as the trim, I should be able to set that to work. It would take some
Yep.
testing, and it probably won't be for this week. But I probably could get that figured out. I've got everything to do this.
I think the main thing is that you would be sitting there controlling it. If you set something like this up automatically, that's a horse of a different color. But with you sitting
Well,
there
it
actually,
is. It would. You're right, Rick. It would have to be something that would only be used when we're actually there using it. It wouldn't be
Right.
like something we would ever leave on.
you don't
And
leave it
number
on.
two, you're going to have to probably ride that squelch pretty closely, I can imagine, on sideband. Because when the squelch opens up, it's going to immediately start transmitting over on the UHF, right? So we're going to have to set the squelch tolerance up high enough that we're not going to be getting any noises over that channel unless there's actually someone talking. That's where the problem comes in with sideband, is it doesn't squelch out like FM does that well. And you'll get, if I turn it down low enough to hear Dallas, I'm going to get errant transmissions constantly coming in. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you're going to have to control it. You're not going to be
Yeah.
able to let that run automatically.
I mean, there's actually some, there is some crossband repeaters between 6 and 2.
Yeah,
Um,
usually FM.
but yeah, but see, I think that's right. They're on FM. So I don't know. This is
Ian.
definitely, yeah, go ahead.
Somebody in Charlotte County used to rebroadcast the CARS net, which is HF net on 40 meters. They used to do it on 2 meters on Saturday. And of course, you have to break in every 10 minutes an ID. But he was doing that, taking the HF feed and putting it out on 2 meters.
And again, I'm just wondering what is the legalities involved with that, because I'm basically I'm rebroadcasting something I'm hearing on another channel, and I don't know. I don't know if that's legal or not. I don't know. And like I said, I'm not one of these like Karens that like follows the letter of the law down to the second here. You know, I'm willing to look at a gray area or two every now and then, as long as we don't get in trouble. But I don't know. I'm not sure about where we're at with broadcasting out the transmissions that are on a different frequency, even though it's being done. I mean, let me throw something else in. You know, the amateur radio news line? It's who I use for one of my news sources on the thing. You can actually broadcast that over a transmitter. It's designed to broadcast, and it has a break at 2 minutes so that you can identify and reset your repeater and start again, and then they start back up again. Amateur radio newsline is actually broadcast over 2 meter and 770 all over the place to different places, broadcasted out to amateur radio operators. And I keep thinking, I don't know how that's legal. It's a broadcast. I don't know. I'm not even allowed to say, hey, Rick, listen to this and play an audio source over the radio. Technically, that's not necessarily legal either. So that's why I want to figure out where we're at with this, and can we legally do this? But either way, I do still think we need to do a net. Maybe it's a once a month thing or something, but we definitely need to do a net on HF. I agree with you, Dallas, on that. I just got to figure out the logistics. I got to tell you something. When it comes to ham radio, every possibility you have makes your decision more complicated.
Yeah.
That's something a lot of people don't think about. But every choice that you have, every opportunity you have, makes the decisions you make going forward that much more complicated. And I find that with amateur radio a lot. I find that there's so many things I want to do, and there's so many ways to do it that sometimes I can't even wrap my head around it. And this is kind of one of them, where I'm not sure what the best thing to do here is. But I would love to have this net on an HF frequency. But as late as the net is, it can't be on 10 or 6 or 12. It's going to have to be on at least 20, if not 40.
Probably like 40 or more.
40 would be best at that hour of the night. And like Dallas said, 80 is the best. If you're trying to talk to people that are just 100 miles up the road, 80 is actually better than 40. A much shorter band usually.
See, I actually talked to a group on talking about Thursday night at 9 o'clock. I talked to a group up in Atlanta on 80.
Yeah.
Much of the time it works. It doesn't always work, but it
Right.
works a good bit of the time.
Yeah, well, 80 is actually less affected by solar storms and stuff than 40 and 20. So it's a little more of a stable source that you can go to and get kind of the same conditions every day, but not quite. Where
Not
40,
quite. It can
40
get pretty
changes
crazy.
wildly. Yeah. But
Yeah.
40 and 20 can change wildly with sunspots and things like that. All right. Anything else on the net? All right.
See how Joseph's doing.
Yeah. Oh, they're still in their meeting. I'm watching it. They're still in their meeting. So as soon as they get done with that, they're going to do their build, and we're going to be a part of that. So we're kind of watching. I'm not even sure what they're building. I forgot. He told me, and I forgot. But you know, I'm going to bring this up real quick. You guys know I got COVID. 6 weeks ago, 7 weeks ago now. And I had it for 2 weeks. I was actually feverish for 13 and a half days. And it was really bad. I don't know. I'm telling you guys, it was really bad. And I had the whole gambit of symptoms. Everything from my smell, my taste, aching, body aches, the whole bit, fevers, headaches, everything, even my toe that I have a little gout in. I got a little gout in one of my toes. It's starting to form. You know, it's if my acids get high in my bloodstream, I got a toe that starts to bother me. This happens to a lot of people as they get older. Well, it don't bother me that often, except the whole time I had COVID, that toe hurt. It's just one of those weird things where everything, the only place it didn't affect me was my lungs, which after being a firefighter and a former smoker for a few years, I was a little bit concerned about my lungs, and it never got me there. The reason I bring this up, I want to tell you guys, weeks and weeks and weeks later, where I'm at today, I can't remember shit. I remember nothing. I left my wallet in one restaurant and my glasses in another restaurant on the same day. I've gotten to the point where I can't remember anything. I left my phone at work yesterday, my ID card at home the day before that. I forget where I'm driving in my van. It's affected my memory. I don't understand what's going on, and I'm a little frightened about it, to be honest with you guys. I was never a good short-term memory guy anyway. Where did I put my keys? I was always that guy anyway. So this is even all of my safeguards that I use, like my saying I say when I walk out the door, you know, keys, cards, phone, glasses, drink, ID card. I have literally a thing that I go through to make sure I have everything. I've gone to, about 6 months ago, I got a purse. This is a man purse. It's actually a camera case, but I got a man purse. I carry all of my stuff in here, and even with the invention of the man purse, I still cannot keep all my stuff straight. So I'm just putting this out there that I am having all kinds of memory issues and fatigue issues still to this day. Greg Rule, one of the meteorologists at my work, was telling me just today that he's having the exact same fatigue and memory issues that I'm having. He's leaving stuff everywhere. He forgets what to do. He's scheduling problems, and he is tired 24/7. He is always tired. I'm having the same problem. I go out, I drilled a hole. I'm mounting my antenna to my shack. I go out there and drill one hole, and I have to go rest for 30 minutes. Then I go back out, I drill another hole, and I'm done for the day. I can't get nothing done like this. I'm not even, you guys sent me 15 emails over the last 7 days that I haven't even answered yet. And I'm pretty good at answering emails. I haven't even sat down and answered emails. I've got a part that I bought for my well pump here that it's been a week. I haven't even hooked it up. I'm still turning the switch on and off to fill the tank. I don't know what to tell you guys. I've reached a point here where this is kicking my ass, and even 6 or 7 weeks later now, I'm having memory problems. Luckily, my sense of smell did finally get back to normal. I walked in a Yankee Candle store 3 weeks ago with my mother, and she goes, "What's wrong?" I said, "It smells really weird in here." She goes, "Really?" So I walked behind her for a few minutes. She goes, "Oh, I like that. Smell this." And I smelled it. She goes, "What does that smell like to you?" I said, "Rotten eggs." And so she puts it back on the shelf, and she walks down a little further, and she says, "So what's this one smell like?" And I smelled it, and I'm like, "Ooh, that smells like burnt spam." She's like, "Oh my God, that's lilac." Oh God. So then she pulls a pine one. She goes, "Smell this. You know this is pine." I smelled it, and I'm like, "That smells weird. It's weird. It's like an oily smell or something, like motor oil."
Oh,
That's how off my smells were. Now, 3 weeks later, my smells are all back.
that's
You
good.
know,
Rotten
now when
eggs really
someone
do
farts,
smell
I
fun.
smell a fart. But yeah, it was bad. It was really bad. My taste was off. My taste was off for only during the time I was sick, and it came right back. But there was a time when Mountain Dew tasted like old orange juice.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, and that's my principal drink. Ugh. Everybody I'm talking to is having these memory problems after COVID, so I'm just putting this out there. If you know anybody that has COVID and now they forgot to call you or something, that's probably why. It has something to do with memory center. I don't know, short-term memory.
Well, look at it this way, Ian. We'll have a lot of presidential candidates.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's bad. I mean, if it gets any worse, I'm going to start having Bidenisms. Um, we don't want that.
You don't want to.
Looks like they're still in their meeting, so we're going to continue here. But anyway, so I wanted to show you guys, tell you guys what I've been going through, because I wanted to get this net going weeks ago. I wanted to get all this stuff going a long time ago. I still haven't responded to the people that have signed up for the WatchNet, Rick, and I got your app. I still haven't responded to you guys and said, "Yeah, I got your app. Thanks for applying." I haven't gotten it, and so just forgive me. It's all. I'm just letting you guys know I'm not myself, and I haven't been myself for almost 8 weeks now. And so you can tell after doing the show and then coming here and doing this, my voice is already starting to go. Um, and I'm still not myself. Nothing's right. Nothing works right. And so I just want to make sure you guys understand that why we're not having big beautiful topics every Friday night, and why I don't have a lot of these things going. I also haven't had a whole lot of people volunteering to help either, so I'm going to work on that too. If there's anybody out there that wants to help me get some things set up, or maybe take this or that and help me with it or whatever, get with me over the weekend, because I could probably use a little help. And I'll get your emails this weekend, I promise. There was 4 or 5 of you that sent me help with my Yaesu 100, my FT 100, and one of you guys sent me a better copy of the manual, and I appreciate that. I read all your emails. I just haven't responded to them yet. So I feel like that radio guy that says, "I read them all and I respond to a few." I'm not normally like that. I only get a few and I respond to them all. But anyway, all right. Let's open it up back up. Does anybody have anything at this point they'd like to bring up? Did anybody else have the COVID? What's your experience with it? What, am I the only one in here that had a COVID? Or am I the only one that's not shy? All right,
Maybe a
that's
few
fine.
of us that's had it and didn't really know it either.
Well, I think that's the case. I think that's the case a lot. All I know is I better have whipped up one hell of a batch of antibodies, because I worked on it for 13 and a half days. I can tell you, I got my fever at about 12:30 in the afternoon on a Saturday, and it was Friday evening when I broke the fever for the last time 2 weeks later. I literally know the times and the dates that it happened. It was so like, it was just so powerful. And when you feel that sinking feeling, You guys know when you first start running a fever, you get that weird, like, sinking feeling, and your temperature's wrong, and you're getting these flashes of cold and hot, and you're getting a little clammy, and you're starting to feel a little weird. Oh, maybe a little in the throat. That shit came on in like an hour, man. I went from driving my wife around, stopping by the Sonic and getting something to eat, and coming home and not making it through the meal and going downhill like a crashing plane over the next 2 hours.
Man.
Yeah.
Hey, Ian.
Yeah.
This is Larry in QU.
Hey, Larry, what's up, man?
Just monitoring, and yeah, I had it back in April, and it sounds like you had the newer version. I had the older version.
Oh,
and
well, it wasn't an upgrade, trust me.
No, I'm not saying it was. The original version.
Yeah.
You know, the first 7 days, I kind of was like, okay, I was a little bit under the weather, but I was still doing radio and playing with FT8 and figured, okay, I got this. Yeah, well, days 8, 9, and 10 laid me out. I mean, just plain laid me out where I would get uncomfortable laying on the couch and I go lay in bed. I'd get uncomfortable laying in bed and go back and lay on the couch for 3 days straight.
Yeah, I played like musical positions. I'd go sit on my steps out front for about 20 minutes. And there was even a time where I was getting so bored and my back was hurting so bad. And I even went out and sat in my car for 20 minutes and just ran the air conditioner just because it was something different. I was just so like in my own head, you know, and I've got a really bad back. It was injured during an explosion in '91 at the fire department. I was actually blown from inside a home through a door and about 12 feet out into the front yard. And I landed on my air pack on my back and it ruined my back. And I'll admit it today because I can admit it today. I lied about that injury for 14 years to stay on the job. And now I'm out of the job and I have no benefits or anything connected to the injury because I wanted to stay a firefighter. It was a career ending injury that I got in '91. And I wasn't done. I wanted 10 or 12 more years in the fire service. So I would go to the doctor and I would eat 6 Advil before I went to the doctor so that I could do all those range of motion things. Yeah, I'm fine, doc. Look at this. I can put my arms anywhere you want, man. Where you want me to put them? Up my butt? I can do it. And I ended up ruining myself because my back's shot now and it's a pre-existing injury that nobody will cover in any way. So it's ended up screwing me. Well, when you end up, you can live with this back injury. It's not so bad. As long as I don't twist it or get it out of shape, I can live with it. And then COVID happens and you lay in bed and like you were saying, you just can't get comfortable anywhere. And it ends up being a situation where you're just miserable. And then my back still is not back to what I consider normal after COVID. It hurts every morning when I get up really bad.
Ian,
All right, enough of me belly aching. Yeah, go ahead.
I didn't even have the energy to go out to the car. Honestly, I didn't have the energy to watch YouTube.
Yeah, there was some days where I didn't put TV on because the act of having to concentrate on it was too much.
Yes,
and
actually.
I know does that sound right? I mean, it was like my brain was so done that I didn't even want to watch a show because I'd have to concentrate on what they're saying.
I don't have TV, but I actually would not call people on the phone because I didn't have the energy to have a conversation.
Yep, I was the same way. Yep, it's bad. And to this day, I have fatigue. Right now, I'm so tired I can't keep my eyes open. And I used to sleep 5 hours a night. I'm sleeping 7 hours a night now. I'm taking a nap every other day for 2 hours. I've already gained back the 15 pounds I lost, and I'm 5 pounds up right now. Getting fat. And why? Because I'm not doing anything. I'm just laying around. Anyway. All right. Anything else on that? I want to move on. I don't want to talk about my health problems all night.
All right. I just didn't want you to think you were alone.
Yeah. Oh, I appreciate it, Larry. I do. Because I'll be honest. Everybody I talk to it seems like they all have some of these similar things. And fatigue fatigue is number one, through it and after it. So we talk about how much productivity COVID has cost us when it comes to jobs and people not wanting to go back to work and people being sick. But no one's ever tried to quantify the amount of lost production we have from people who are still recovering from symptoms 2 months later. Because I don't work as good or as fast as I had before, and I probably won't for some time. All right, anyway. Anything else on that? All right, we're still waiting on Joseph. They're having their meeting there. As soon as they get done, we're going to flip over there and check that out. And I'm probably only going to go till about 10 tonight. We'll see what goes on with Joseph. As I said, I'm very tired tonight. I am looking forward to getting up tomorrow and finishing attaching my tower to my shed. I still have a show to edit in the morning. It plays at 11 o'clock. So I still have to get up at 8 and edit a show and dial into the station and load it before 11 o'clock tomorrow for one of my clients. So I've still got work to do, but I'm going to get that done. I'm going to get my antenna mounted, and then I'm going to do that FT4 contest tomorrow. Matter of fact, let me see if I can pull up the information on that while we're here. And we've got a few minutes. Let me do a screen capture here. Oh, there it is. Okay. Southwest Florida TechNet, the newsletter. For those of you who don't get the newsletter, all you have to do is send me an email, and I'll be glad to put you on the list. You can unsubscribe at any time. I mentioned these things up here earlier, so I'll come back to that later. I just want to mention one quick thing. Our guest host tonight was from Colorado, and he was in tonight, and he said that they had a warm day today. It got up to 62. And I told him we had a cold night last night. It got down to 66. So that was kind of funny. The weather for the next week is another beautiful week, guys. It's another beautiful week out there.
It's going to be another hot week.
Yeah. We do have, there's one morning where it'll be a little chilly, but nothing really. I want to mention the Sunshine Net. I think somebody actually mentioned it earlier. Cars up in Charlotte County. If you guys haven't tried this out, it's a great net. They do it one at a time. And what's great about the Cars Net is they do one at a time check-ins, which means you don't have to check in at 8:30 and then sit around till 10 o'clock till it's your turn, because it's a 2-hour long net usually. What's great about it is when you come in, they'll call for the next check-in, and if you're the one that gets in, you get in, and they'll be like, okay, what's going on with you? And you tell them what's going on with you. Usually there's a question of the day. What's your highest gain antenna? What's your highest watt radio? What's your furthest contact? It's usually a cool question of the day. And then it's neat because you can tune in when you want, check in when you want, and tune out when you want. You don't have to sit in there all day. It's a very different net, and I like it, and I do check in on it. The 444-975 is actually a really good stick. It does really well. You guys should try it. You probably can get it. A lot of you, except Dallas, can probably get the 444-975. And Dallas, if you get that 97 element Yagi in, we'll talk to you on it.
You'll have to put it on top of Stone Mountain.
Yeah.
No, that wouldn't be high enough.
Yeah, with the curve of the Earth, it would need to be about 7,000 feet high on both ends, I think.
Yeah.
He's got to put the Mount Mitchell.
I'd have to have a rocket.
Yeah.
Put my own satellite in space.
And I always got the DX stuff in here, but I don't read that because not a lot of people are interested in it. But if you are out there trying to get some unique stations, I always put this in every week. It's the world of DX. I get this from several sources, and it's a great way to find stuff to do. Swap Shop tomorrow.
Yeah, we got
it's tomorrow. You got to do that. I found some good funny boners for the week. Dude, like, what if ham radio operators were like, really talking to aliens, man. And yeah. And then the antenna salesman said, 6-inch radios work on 2 meter.
Right.
No, they don't. Okay. And then,
Right.
of course, your portable radio is really a piece of crap unless it has a built-in flashlight. I just wanted you guys to know that. So check your radio, and if it doesn't have a built-in flashlight, it's garbage.
I just see
you're
that
not
one,
buying this, right?
yellow. I forget the group that my daughter used to listen to. They used to talk to Mars on the yellow walkie-talkie.
Yeah, there you go.
I forgot the name of that group. It wasn't NSYNC. It was somebody. Hanson?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm
gotta look
sorry.
at
I'm
now.
no good at names. I'm not the pop culture guy, and after COVID, I can't remember shit. But anyway, you know what's interesting about that picture? The Bofang, that's the UV82. If you're going to buy a base model Bofang, don't buy the UV5R. It's crap. Buy the UV82. It's got the same exact guts. You can get it for about the same price, but it's got more of a Motorola feel to it. It also has the dual transmit buttons. Pretty cool. It's one of the only radios out there in the cheaper realm of radios that has the dual transmit. You can actually have 2 channels, one on the upper button and one on the lower button. And you can not only listen to 2 channels, but talk on one or the other. It's pretty cool. But the UV82 also comes in red, blue, green, black, and yellow.
Now that's diversity.
Yes, it is. I like it. I actually own 2 of the red ones. I like the red ones. You know me, red's my color, if you guys can't tell.
Yeah.
All right, radio events. This weekend, we've got the 8th annual TechCon going on in Winter Haven. Winter Haven's only 2 hours from here. It's not that far. A little over 2 hours, I think. Just, what is it, north of Tampa, I think.
It's over there east of Lakeland.
Yeah. Oh, it's east of Lakeland, so it's over towards between Orlando and Lakeland.
Yeah.
But anyway, Winter Haven, that's coming up this weekend. And then next weekend, Punta Gorda, Peace River Radio Association. I just got the notification from Cars on this today. It's still on. Everything's good. And I'm going to try to go to that one next weekend. I have not. I want you to prepare yourself. In my 20 months of amateur radio, I've never been to a ham fest. And so every time I want to go one, it ends up getting planned on days when I can't go. So the Punta Gorda Ham Fest is on a day that I can go. It's going to be what is it? I think it's on a Saturday, which by the way is when Ham Fest should be on the weekend. But I'm going to try to go to that one. So if anybody else is going to that, let me know, and we'll meet up there or whatever. I just wanted to mention the Ukraine Brands Amateur Radio as part of the state of emergency. You can read the whole article in here. I've got everything on it about it. But yeah, it's a 30-day hiatus on amateur radio use in the country of Ukraine. And I hate to say this, but they may not have a country in 30 days to readdress this. But we'll see what happens. I saw Ukraine stations on FT4 and FT8 yesterday, but I did not see any today. So they may be heeding the warning, or they may just be busy fighting off an insurrection or something. I will just put it out there. God bless them folks, man. Could you imagine? I don't think any of us can imagine tanks rolling by your house at 2:00 in the morning.
That suck.
And they're there to take your government and kill them all and put their government in. I mean, literally think about that. Okay, Pennsylvania Ham charged with false information and bomb threats. You know, this just shows you that no matter what you do, there's going to be one jerk. There's always at least one jerk.
Wow.
Sometimes we call him Karen, sometimes we call him jerk, but there's always one. And here he is. This guy was putting out bogus weather reports on his ham radio. What an ass.
The total.
I can't say any more without cussing more, so I won't. But what an ass. But but yeah, anyway, so there was criminal complaints filed on this guy, and yeah, anyway, he's going to end up. He's been charged. Probably going to end up maybe doing some time. Who knows?
He should
But
lose his license anyway.
well, I'm hoping they've already got that on suspension. But as you know, someone who's willing to do that doesn't care.
Yeah.
Um, I used to always think that years ago when I first got into law enforcement, I I was sat down after I've been in about a year. I sat down by a sergeant one time, and he says, "Don't ever assume that a man that's breaking one law is not breaking the other law too." And that's a good point. If you think about it, why would a guy go get an amateur radio license or try to fight for his license or whatever when he's doing illegal stuff anyway? This guy will be back on the airwaves, I guarantee you. He's going to buy more radios and he's going to go on and he's going to create a hassle for whoever's in his area, unfortunately. I don't know why people are like this. But
Well, this is just like the FCC telling people, well, you can't coordinate illegal activities on your radio. Well, duh.
Yeah.
Well, my thing on that is why don't they use that same thing with cell phones or just a regular everyday phone?
Right. Exactly.
That way you can get all the druggies, all the pushers off the air. Just hey, you had a cell phone in your hip pocket when you made that deal.
Yeah,
that's true, but I don't want to get into the legalities of it. I'm a former cop and I'm a libertarian conservative, and I'm not for any new laws because we already have laws on the books that would address this. But when it comes to interference and stuff like that, I'm fine with them regulating. I mean, there has to be some kind of regulation on all this stuff. But none of us should assume that anybody's going to follow the rules just because there's rules out there.
Yeah.
We all know it isn't going to be that way. Unfortunately, it's just not. All right, let's move on to something a little more positive. This weekend, amateurs enjoy 2 QSO parties. It's a twofer. The North Carolina and the South Carolina are both doing QSO parties. So I'm going to skip ahead because I got them both down here for you. There you go. There's your South Carolina QSO party and your North Carolina. They run it basically at the same times. The one runs an hour later, I guess.
South Carolina goes Saturday from 10.
Oh, no, they are different.
No, they are
one
different.
Runs, they're
South
a day
Carolina
different.
is 10 o'clock to 9 p.m. on Saturday. Then North Carolina is from 10 o'clock to 8 p.m. on Sunday.
On Sunday. Okay, so you could work them both separately, I guess. Okay.
Oh, yeah. I would
And,
like to see them combine the two of them. Started at 7 o'clock on Friday night and go all the way to 7 o'clock on Sunday night. That would be a lot of fun.
That'd be a lot of fun if there was a way to combine everything into one big contest, but they probably would never do that.
Yeah.
But anyway, if you're into RTTY, there's 2 big RTTY contests this weekend. There's the Collegiate Championship and the North American QSO Party, and those are both RTTY only. And then there was this 160 meter single sideband. Now that I moved my wire and I got it out from under the tree, I can get 160 down to about SWR of 2, and at about 80 watts in FT8, I'm showing an output of about 50 watts on my gauge. So I assume I could probably go and try phone on 160. I've never made a phone contact on 160.
I haven't either.
Yeah. I don't even know what people sound like on 160. I have gone and made FTA contacts on it. I made a few just to say I did it. And the UBA DX contest CW has been canceled for this year. I don't know why.
I guess
I'm sure we'll blame it on COVID. I'm sure.
That's right. You can get COVID by using CW.
COVID's not a reason. COVID's an excuse. Even though it's a real thing, and it really does kick your ass when you get it. Most of the things that we do, we don't do. And I hate to get into a side topic real quick, but one of the things that really bugs me is like our Walmart has 4 entrances. Okay, counting the automotive and the garden center, they have 4 entrances. What they would do for COVID when it would get bad, they would close 3 of the entrances, so we all had to use 1 entrance.
Well, that's brain dead.
That's brain dead. There's
Yeah.
no way. And so I went, I'm one of these people. I went and I asked to speak to the manager. And the manager came out and I said, I'm going to talk about this afternoon on my radio show. So I want to know what your answer is. How is it safer for me to walk through a crowded entrance where the entire store is entering and egressing through the same 4 doors? How is that safer than allowing people to disperse and park in a much larger area? And she looked right at me and she goes, well, I really wish you wouldn't say this on the radio. But she goes, the problem with the COVID is not you and the COVID. The problem is we can't get enough people to show up for work to have the other 3 exits open. It had nothing to do with
The actual
stopping the spread of COVID or getting their employees infected with COVID. It had to do that they no longer had enough people showing up for work to open those entrances with the manpower necessary to open those entrances. Because as you know, at a retail, every entrance has to be monitored. Every entrance has to have registers. They have to have all the different things. And they were closing 3 and leaving just the 1. Oh, and it was just the 1 on the far end. So if you had a prescription, you had to park and go all the way to the end and come in and go all the way to the other end and get your prescription and walk all the way back to the other end to get out of the building again. And our Taco Bell here in North Fort Myers, the place where you eat inside is closed almost all the time. And I ask him, why is it closed today? It was open yesterday. What, is there more COVID today than there was yesterday? The manager there, which I'm friends with, told me, actually, I eat there a lot when I'm friends with the manager. One of the managers, one of the late night managers. She says, the problem again is not that we have COVID or we don't want people to get COVID or we don't want so many people in our dining room. The problem is we had 2 people show up for work tonight and we have to have 4 to open the doors and unlock the doors for safety, which I agree with.
Oh, shit.
Everywhere I go, I pull the manager and I asked him, why are you doing this? Why does this make it safer? And in every case so far, every time, it's been that the people won't come to work and they don't have the staff. So that's why I keep saying COVID's not the reason, COVID's the excuse. It's the excuse why these lazy people won't show up for work. It's the excuse why these places can't open up their dining rooms and their lobbies. It's the excuse why they can't open up their exits. It's all these excuses. It's COVID, it's COVID, it's COVID. No, it's people's false and erroneous reactions to COVID. It's people's unwillingness to work around COVID. And it's people's laziness that's caused this. It's not COVID. COVID's the excuse. Let's stop calling COVID the reason. COVID's the excuse that people give when they don't want to do their job. Everything that's not happening now is something that nobody wanted to do before, but now they have a reason to say they can't do it anymore. It's all an excuse.
This is going to be a lousy YouTube for a TechNet.
I know. I'm sorry. My bad.
There you go. You said that. Now I might wake up now.
I'm sorry. I am sorry.
Josh?
I get cranked up because I'm not anti-vax. I'm pro-choice. And I also believe the virus is bad. It kicks your ass. But the way people have reacted to it is just totally wrong. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is the ARIS is accepting applications for ISS contacts coming up in the future. If one of your aspirations is to speak to an astronaut on the space station, which is a good one, go ahead and sign up and get on their mailing list and do whatever it is that they do there. I haven't done it yet. Do whatever it is they do, and then you can get some preference when it comes to who's going to talk to the space station, and we can try to get you in contact with the space station.
They've got another school around here that's going to do one of these.
Right. And so it'd be cool if you could get in there and do it. The
Yeah.
next thing I want to talk about, something that's in amateur radio that's probably a bigger part of amateur radio than most people see. and that's EME, or Earth Moon Earth Communications. And so I put together a little one pager here to kind of introduce everybody to EME. You might already have what's necessary to moon bounce.
No.
It's not as much as you think. You do not need like what Darley has. He has a really nice, rig that goes like this and that with multiple antennas and all this kind of stuff. And he's got a great system because he does the ARIS stuff with schools and stuff. But you do not need that system in order to moon bounce, or even to talk to the space station or receive SSTV from the space station, or to make a satellite contact. All four of those things can be done with people with handheld antennas and smaller than you would think radio equipment. It's not necessary. You don't need 100 watts. You don't need an 8-foot long Yagi. It's a little easier than you think. The moon only reflects back about 7% of the signal.
All right, you guys there?
Yeah, we're here.
All right. Sorry about that late
No,
start.
you're fine.
I expected it to be done in about 30 minutes, but it was they went different this time, I guess, because Hamcation and everybody wanted to talk about it. So we are we're doing the little build area now. Last time this was out in the main room, but they're doing it back here so they can let the rest of the meeting run while we do it. So we got these tables out. They have soldering irons over there. They've got their wires and everything. And they give you all the supplies. They gave me a bunch of connectors there on the table so we can make our antennas. And should be pretty fun. There's probably gonna be more people back here soon too.
So you're building antennas?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you haven't told us what kind of antenna you're making besides the wire one.
Linked to dipoles. That's what we're making. So we started with let me take you off of here. We started the week before last, we started out with making just 40-meter dipoles. They gave us these awesome 3D printed, I don't know what we call these.
Oh, those are cool.
They gave us connectors, they gave us a 3D printed part, and then you have your wire here, and they measured it out and everything. This time they said, bring your antenna back and we'll make it into a linked dipole. So I got my antenna here. This is what I was using the other night to do FT8. And we're gonna cut it, and then we're gonna put these little splices in here to turn it into a linked dipole. And all you do is you just go out there and you connect and disconnect the different sections for what band you want. So it's not like an automatic thing, like a multi-band, with traps and everything on it, but it's next best thing, I guess.
Yeah, I'm so convinced that if you can use your antenna without a tuner, you get more in and more out.
Oh, well.
You probably do.
When I turn my tuner off and I connect directly, my waterfall looks a lot better.
Probably so, yeah. You have resonant antenna and you don't have to go through those extra steps and have less loss. So we got to get our measurements here. Let me figure out what's going on with that. Bring you with me
here. Hey, Joseph, if you could tell us for a second about this place that you're at. It's a radio museum, right?
Oh, yeah. Let me.
Give us a little, if you could. I don't want to get you in trouble, but if you give us a little tour, that'd be great.
Absolutely. So this place is super, super cool. You walk in here, it's called the Museum of Information Explosion here in Huntsville. You walk in and you've got, just really old radios, World War II, pre-World War II, all kind of stuff. They've got they even have some gramophones and record players and really, really older stuff. So this is like the front area here. They've got some of these kinds back here too. I don't know what era these are from.
Wow.
But they're definitely really.
Those are like Marconi era.
Yeah, these are like right when they first.
These are back.
Look at that.
Water can.
I love old radios.
These are super cool, man. So you come out here, you got a little kitchen area. Oh, this is the ham thing. So in this little room inside the room.
A shack.
A shack inside the building. In here, they've got a really old Collins radio, KWM2A.
Yeah.
They've got it on a hex beam out back. They got a antenna rotator and everything. This is the little room. They've got some more receivers here. I'm not exactly sure what that. I think that's a transmitter. I guess got a send receive switch on it. So guess it's a CW radio probably. Got some other stuff around here.
Well, and I think in the very first days when your transmitter and your receiver were two different things, you had to have some way to control it, didn't you? So that it would switch back and forth. That might have been what that was.
Yeah. Dude, they have Heath kits here, man.
I know, look at that.
What is this thing? It's got a scope on it.
I think Johnny Gage had that on Emergency.
Yeah. That scope is so you can look at your signal, so you can see what your RTTY signal looks like, your modulation index for sideband.
Oh, like a constellation type thing?
Yeah, that is
No. This just lets you look at your modulation signal, so you know that you're achieving 100% without flat topping it.
Oh, it's a waveform.
You can look to see how much distortion you got, or if you can't hit 100%, then you have a weak driver someplace.
Okay, I see.
That's pretty cool that they built a ham shack inside the building.
Yeah.
Of course, it's probably because they need to lock the ham guys in there sometimes because they get rowdy.
Or lock them out because they
lock them out.
TV set.
That's a neat place, man.
Over here, there's a lot more stuff. There's my favorite thing is over here too. See if we can find it. Yeah, this is my favorite thing right here.
Take a look at this.
Oh man. Yeah.
It's connected to a recorder.
Yeah.
That was the subwoofer before the subwoofer was invented.
Sure was. Oh, kind of.
Look at them old gramophones and barrel players, and oh my god, I love that stuff.
I know. Are you on with it? Yeah, I'm showing them around.
It's like a Wurlitzer.
The jukebox.
And the only thing I love more than new equipment is old equipment.
Oh, they have the World War II aeronautical radios over here.
Oh, cool.
It's different than normal radios.
Probably all AM, I bet.
Oh yeah. This still has the receive transmit switch on it. Some really cool stuff.
Oh, I can spend hours in this place.
Oh, this is cool. It's like a tube tester.
A tube tester, yeah.
That's what that is.
Yeah, every hardware store used to have something like that.
The 7-Elevens used to all have them too.
Yeah.
Some of the 7-Elevens, your drugstore.
Because look, I mean, when your tube goes out in your TV right before Laugh-In comes on, I mean, you had to get down there and get a new tube.
There's the new tubes. See?
Oh wow, that is really cool. They don't have stuff like that anymore.
You poured in the wrong century.
I guess so. But yeah, it's kind of a lot of the same sort of thing. But if you know the history and of these manufacturers and everything, it could be really, really fascinating to spend a while here.
You know, thank God people take this stuff and save it and protect it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh, there's the phone stuff back here. They haven't set this up. Oh wow, this is like original.
Real telephones.
Wow.
Rotary dial phones.
That's what the swap shop would look like that if it was phone people.
Yeah.
Here's like the full units.
There you go.
It was like a mini switchboard or something?
Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
That's how they would connect calls. They would take the wire and connect the person calling to the person it was going to. And then on there somewhere, there's a ringer button. And it's probably one of those two separate white ones on the left. And they would ring the line by sending an impulse down the line and make the ringer ring.
Wow.
And yeah. and they were famous for sitting there listening to the private conversations of everybody on the board.
You know what I heard? You know what I heard? You know what I heard about the phone switchboard operators? They started out with mostly having men run them, but the men were too rude, and that's why historically females have always been switchboard operators, because the men were too rude on to operate as the
marks and stuff.
Yep, and you know what's great is the women have been able to catch up. They're just as rude as us now.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, that's
Wow.
cool. Look at that. What is
Now,
that? An antenna
I don't know what
in
this.
the middle?
It says Super 10. Well, we have a selectivity detector.
I don't know what that thing is.
It almost looks like a radio. That's a speaker. I don't know what this is. Oh, is this stuff just sitting on top of here? I think this stuff is just sitting on top of this box.
Could be. I think I saw that on Doctor Who.
Yeah. Not sure what's back here. Oh, look at this. This is cool. I'm not exactly sure what these are. More tubes. More radios back here. They got a lot of stuff.
Oh, Rick, I think we could just spend all day in this place.
absolutely.
All kind of receivers. What is the tickler? What is that?
I don't know. Turn it and see how it feels.
I don't know if I
Probably
should do.
sends an electrical impulse down your finger and through your leg and down to the floor.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow.
Unless you got to go to the bathroom, and then it's different.
Yeah.
RCA Victor, AM clock, FM. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's hard to believe that cabinet right there, we can do everything that they do in that cabinet now in something the size of a dime.
Oh, I know.
All right.
Not exact. RF1, RF2, first stage, second stage.
That's a transmitter. That's a commercial transmitter? No?
No, that's how old receivers were.
Really?
Yes, that was before the days of having a tuned IF.
That's got FM in it. Wow.
Wow.
AM and FM.
Yeah, all of our big commercial transmitters have they're multi-stage transmitters with the exciter plates and so on. I thought that might have been something like that.
Yep.
Gonna get you one today?
Apple?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna build it in a second. Yeah, I was worried that it wasn't gonna get on the list.
That's why I'm glad you sent me.
He said he got my email. He just didn't answer it for a while. So he ended up writing me back.
Yeah, I know.
Talk radio.
Is that Micah?
Yeah.
Hey, Micah, what's up, buddy? Hey.
What is saying to me?
They just said, "Hey, what's up?"
Radios here?
No.
Okay. How's your work? Like you can?
Well, I am kind of. We're doing it. We do a weekly net on.
like these radios. I
Yes,
know you
yes.
do.
We're doing a week. We do a weekly net.
Tonight it's been pretty weak up till now. You're doing great.
So tonight, one of the main topics was showing them around.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So
You know, history of some of these things. We can go into the history.
oh man, there's got to be so much detail, all kind of stuff. All these shelves each have all their outlets too, so I think at some point they're going to be operation.
They'd have to bring in a second air conditioning unit. They plug in all them tube radios.
Yeah, turn those on and your lights are going to start flickering.
Oh, I know. You would probably need about 1.21 gigawatts.
What is this? What are these things? Multi-wave. What are these? Like you manually spread the coils?
I don't know what you put in there, but I don't want to guess.
It's a hot dog. It's a wiener cooker.
Yeah, that's what it looks like, is a wiener cooker. You guys decide which wiener.
Anyway, I'm gonna head
I don't know
back.
if you guys know it or not, but if you ever need to cook a wiener, all you gotta do is go up to a police car and stick the wiener on the 800 megahertz antenna and key it down for 2 minutes. We used to do it. We used to do it all the time on brush fires because I hate cold hot dogs.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna set y'all up. Oops, sorry. I got to figure out what our dimensions are. I got to get all the. Hey, I have that at home.
Some more skis.
Da 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 da.
That's one of the beep 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 things.
Yeah, I've been practicing. I've been learning how to do it. It's actually not too difficult. I have that same
It's
here.
because you have a young, pliable brain. Try being old like me and trying it.
I guess.
I'm not going to pick you up again.
Well, I'm gonna put you guys back here. Y'all are free to listen in and watch, or go back to whatever you're doing. But I got to figure out what the measurements are supposed to be and start building this thing.
It's the same people, Jenny. It's the same people.
Same kind of people.
My dog wanted to come up here. She has to look.
All right.
This thing is really cool, though. They gave us the parts for it. I've had this outside for 2 weeks now. I had a little bit of tape over the top to keep the rain off the connector, but
Yeah.
it's 3D printed.
Yeah,
Pretty
you
cool.
probably could just silicone the crap out of that once it's all done.
That's probably what I'm gonna do. That actually is a really good idea.
Yeah, you melted it with your soldering iron.
Yeah, I did a little bit. Yep, I did.
That side,
All right,
that other side.
Yep, sure
You know,
did.
Joseph was telling me the other night, guys, 3D printing has gotten a lot cheaper, and
Oh yeah.
something that used to cost 10 grand now costs $125. So
Yeah, printer costs like $160, and the filament costs like $20 for a kilogram of filament. So yeah, it's gotten a lot cheaper than it used to be.
now they still can't print me out a pork chop and mashed potatoes, but you can make a lot of stuff with those things. Those little printers.
Well, they can print that out. The problem is it's a cornstarch thing, so it all tastes like Cheetos.
Yeah. Oh man. But yeah, the neat thing, I've seen some neat things built with these 3D printers, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna leave him on the screen. I don't know if I can mute him while he's spotlighted. Hold on, let me take the spotlight off, and sorry, Dallas, I accidentally muted the screen switched.
Right now, that's what we're doing. It's got set up to 10, 20, and it's already 40. Okay. So the first cut from center connect.
There we go. All right, now I can mute it. Okay, there we go. I had to get back to my gallery view. The whole time he was talking, I put him in a mode that is called Spotlight for Everyone, and I saw that the other day, and I just tried it, and it worked good. It literally brought him up full screen on the YouTube video too, so that worked out good. Dave, AC3AV, you made it, buddy. What's up?
Hey, good evening, Ian. Yeah, we had Trivial Pursuit tonight in the development, so I got delayed.
Wow.
But, yeah, so managed to join you for the last bit. Yeah, it's a like they do on the cruises and stuff. We have a director that organises all these things in the development.
See, I used to think Trivial Pursuit was when a cop chased a guy just because his headlight was out. But I guess it's something else. Yeah. All right. Well, everybody, we'll stick with Joseph here. I got him muted, but he's over there building that. That's pretty cool what he's talking about. I saw another antenna that's very different than that, but that kind of does the same thing. That screwdriver antenna where you move the screwdriver up and down to adjust the coil length. I thought that was really cool. This is neat too. What he's basically doing is you can set it up for whatever frequency you want. Now, it's not going to be something that's going to be easy to change, but what a cool thing to have 4 sections of wire and you just hook up whichever sections you need. I'm wondering if he's going to run like a piece of thin monofilament line or something so that he can just slide the wires along it, because I don't know how that's going to work. Because you gotta pull it straight, right?
Yep.
And
Uh,
You just can't pull it very tight. Because if you pull
yeah,
it tight, it comes apart.
Yeah.
so that's why I'm wondering if it might be something you could hook to a piece of rope or
Although
something.
those connectors are pretty stiff, so
They are. They're made for automotive use, so they hold on pretty good.
what's he making? Is it a fan dipole?
No, it's a standard dipole, but they have spade connections, so you can add links to it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
it would be
There.
difficult to convert that into a fan dipole.
I got my measurements now, so we got to cut it at 8 feet 2 inches, and then from there we cut it at 8 feet 3 inches, and we will have our link dipole. So we're gonna make those cuts. I gotta find a spare tape measure. So we got a couple people doing this. There was more last time, and there might still be more. What? Oh.
I'm just gonna solder it on.
Does it have the centerpiece? Okay. Okay. Just you can look at mine. You kind of just tie it. Pretty much, you just tie it.
Yeah.
Let's see if anybody got a spare measuring tape. Can I borrow one of these measuring tapes here?
Yeah.
All right.
I really wish we did build days.
Man, that's one of the things I really. Is somebody trying to make a Jacob's ladder?
That's
think
what
they
it
are.
looks like.
Somebody's trying to make one. Oh boy, those are scary things. I don't know what they got.
They work best if you lick your fingers and put them on the tops of those two wires.
They're trying to make a Jacob's ladder.
You know, it'd be easier just to go lick a 9-volt battery.
No, the Jacob's ladder will do a little bit better.
Yeah, it'll fry you.
Yeah.
You can get curly hair.
There you go. Be a
All right.
walking lightning storm.
We got to measure 8 feet and 2 inches from.
When I was doing paranormal research, we were looking for ways to dump raw energy into the atmosphere to be used by spirits. And we actually worked with Jacob's ladders in several different investigations. I don't know if you guys realize it, but Jacob's ladders, they put out this horrible electromagnetic field across like all kinds of frequency. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You could have an EMF detector literally like 100 feet away from a Jacob's ladder, and it'll still sit there and just go crazy. So what we were trying to do was create electromagnetic fields within an area that we thought was haunted or was active. And what we found was when we would stimulate these areas with certain kinds of energy, we would actually get more activity. So it was interesting. And you know what's funny? We found that light frequency works really well. And the color that works best is blue, ironically enough. Red doesn't seem to work well at all. But blue seems to attract ghosts. It's kind of strange. We worked on that research for 2.5 years to come to that conclusion. And yeah, blue, the best color for ghosts. And that and the dollar got me a cup of coffee.
May also be the best for attracting bugs.
Yeah.
Here in Florida, we have plenty of bugs.
Well, and it was, yeah, it does. It's just like certain bugs are attracted to certain colors. Most bugs are attracted to blue and green because that's the part of the spectrum that's in use late at night. Where most of your day creatures react more to the red side of the spectrum. Let's see. All right. We'll stay with him for just a little while here while he's building his antenna. I hit mute and now I can't unmute him. It won't let me unmute him. So I've asked him to unmute. He'll unmute it in just a minute, I'm sure. But anyway, okay. So yeah, that's interesting. I've been thinking about making me some kind of fan dipole. Because I am absolutely convinced that when you use a tuner, you lose a lot. You lose 20, 30% of your receiving and transmitting ability. Where if you were using a single band resonant antenna, I really think you gain. I really do. And what little bit of stuff I've done with this is when I make like my 6 meter Yagi up there, it's tuned exactly right. I put it on the tuner. It's a 1.1. It's perfect SWR at our operating frequencies on 6 meter. I get on there, man. That thing does amazing stuff. No tuner, no nothing, and it just seems to work great. So I can't wait till I have like a long wire that's at 20 or 40, so I can see what it's like to actually use a wire that's resonant on the band that I'm on, rather than going through a tuner.
That's the thing I love about the in-fed half waves. You put up an 80-meter in-fed half wave that's resonant on 40, 20, 15, and 10.
Yeah.
No tuner.
Well, and I've thought about, I don't know. I've thought about a fan dipole, but I also know that every time I mix bands on a Yagi, it completely diminishes what I'm doing. Like if I build a 440 antenna and I build a 2-meter antenna, I get a certain amount of performance. When I then combine those together into one beam, and I have my 5 elements for 440 and my 3 elements for 2-meter, that's the one I built. Neither one of them work as good as they did before I put them together. So I'm becoming of the belief. I used to always wonder why I drive by amateur radio guys' houses and there's 50 freaking antennas everywhere. Well, I'm starting to get it.
Understand, yeah.
I'm getting it. I want a resonant antenna on every frequency.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to get my hex beam, so I'm going to be good 10 through 20. I'm going to be great.
You'll have resonant antennas there.
Right. And so then I've thought about if I'm going to resonate there, I won't need to worry about any of that. Now I'm up to 40. 40's the big one. So maybe I need to try to make me a wire antenna that's exactly resonant at 40 meters. That's only 20 meters on each side, right? I mean, it's 60 feet. My wire's only at like 40 feet now.
Yeah.
But I could literally just add wire to my wire that I have now and get it up to 60. I could go up a little higher and bring the one leg of it over to the back of my property and actually go over my entire property with it, maybe. Joseph, you got to unmute, buddy.
All right. Sorry. So we've cut our pieces to 8 feet. It was 8 feet 2 inches from the actual center conductor, so we just cut off at 8 feet. And now we got to build the actual links, which I'm not 100% sure how to do that. All right.
This grill okay, so instead of wasting this, look through this sort.
He's showing us how.
It's probably going to be a blue something.
Somebody shot.
Red and blue. So look for something blue. Two blue ones. Yeah, see how that. It seems to fit it pretty good in there. So when you try to put this in, it fits.
And that's a lot of drill bits.
Right. So,
man, I wish I had that kit.
let's out of just clear blue. Pick this one that's got blue. Put it in there to figure out which side is the crimp side. I didn't bring
I always buy the cheap crimpers. Those are nice.
Yeah, those are decent crimpers.
Yeah, I got to get me some. I got the cheap ones.
Next crimp is on this side.
What?
Get you a pair of crimpers that you can use for your.
They're watching.
Is it? Dang. power connectors, the Anderson power poles, and
Yeah.
and the same kit can also have the coax crimps and everything.
Yeah.
I don't even solder a coax anymore, except for the center conductor.
Right. We went to the third one. Let's see what the third one.
You know, I take my wires and I put horseshoe connectors on them and put them right into my lugs.
That one all the way.
You don't even need the solder to build an antenna. You really don't.
Yeah.
As long as you got good connections.
That's too powerful. So you this one. You can get it out of there.
Yes.
Cut this off.
I'm still watching here.
And
Didn't do it.
okay, about a half inch.
So this is the actual link part?
It's what?
Is this the actual?
Oh, no. This is these are a little loose, and what we're doing is doubling up on this, pushing it down into the hole.
Spinning over, double up the wire, but it's only going up to the insulation.
Yeah, you want it to go right to
Yeah.
the insulation, and we need the pliers.
This actual part though that we're making, what is
We don't want
this?
to waste these, but we got a whole lot of these. These are half a penny each.
You're just testing the crimp now to figure out.
Yeah, we're just trying to figure out.
The crimp.
I've got a good crimper. Yeah, but the tolerance on our wire inside of these is real loose.
Oh, this crimper will take care of that.
All right.
I can crimp it on the yellow back.
Guess you're just testing then to see what's better.
I got these three different ones. All right, give me a connector and a wire. All right, hang on. Strip one of your, you got to put it through your yoke. Yeah. Come off your antenna.
Yeah.
Cut the wire off the antenna, off
Yeah.
the triad.
I did.
Okay, so feed it through your yoke.
Before we put a connector on there though, we need to check.
What did you cut it to?
8.
8 feet. Well, it's 8 feet plus what I've got over here, which is about another 4
Okay.
inches.
We'll check it when we'll put it on there. If it's doesn't work, we can always, I think should be okay. All right, go ahead and strip your wire back.
You want about half an inch?
No, quarter of a pan.
Oh, okay.
See,
Oh, that's
what
right.
kind of drive you got.
This is 16. This one is second hole.
Yeah, 16 years. Is this similar to what's yours look like?
This one a little tighter than that one.
A little tighter? It's adjustable on this.
Yeah.
Stripping.
Mark, he said he was trying to test this to see how, in here it's going to test.
Maybe they use those spacers to hold them
Yeah,
together.
you need to.
Oh, through that, through that.
All you gotta do is go up.
Yeah, see, they could use those spacers, and that way it would hold the weight of the wire, and you can unhook it, and the spacer can stay connected to both wires. You just unhook the wire.
Just a little bit of that to make your connection there. Did you get your soldering irons? Or you-
Yeah, something like this going here.
This come out. As far as small.
Guys, I'm going to step out for 5 minutes and use the restroom. I'll be right back.
Soldering iron.
All right. We'll just watch what's going on.
One that's needed. Go ahead and get one and put right down there. Let's grab that, one of those down there. And bring that here. It really doesn't matter. No, I've got more of the spades if you don't have. These flats, the flat spades like this.
Oh, you got the flats.
You got some.
Yeah.
But I've got more of them.
All right. So that same exact tank. I ordered 200 of the red ones with the correct wire.
Well, let me look. I may have red. This is what you could have done arbitration. Reds on these are not insulated.
Yeah. Well, you have to get that wire off of the stations. Yeah, I remember these because they're fully shrouded. And then he was putting it in all the way through to where it just came to the end of the, just came to the end of the floor. I think it was made, so it's trickling around a little bit.
Oh, yeah, that holds.
Okay, that works. So the red is the correct diameter for what we're doing. This is one itty bitty size.
Some of them are not insulated. We use some of the non-insulated.
We need the iron.
Well, not now. I was gonna tin this wire so it fit the blue ones. We could try that on one if we don't run out of red.
All right.
All right, one end is done.
Okay. Well, we just do the other. This whole new. Yeah. You went
Through the top.
Yeah. Oh, you through the top.
No, either way. I done it. I laid it this way. It's the top. We don't matter.
Shoot down?
Yeah, down and then back.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't have to go far.
Oh, push the, yeah.
Yeah, it don't take much wire. That's done. Now, you measure your next length of wire. Sure.
So these.
Pull out.
I think my
Yeah. If you get it stripped good and smooth, it slides right in. Here's maybe.
yeah. He says add about 2 inches.
So it's supposed to be 8 feet 2 inches. So a little over 8 feet should be where you want to be.
And that's for, what, which meter?
The 10 meter.
So it's 8 feet from.
It's 8 feet 3 inches for your certain section.
All right, so your first cut, length of your wire is gonna be. Again.
Then we're doing 15 meters for the other one.
Are you doing 15?
Is that what we're gonna do? Or
You can do whatever you want. I do 10, 20, and 40. And if you want to add 30 in there, you can. If you want to add a 15 in there, you can. Just let me know.
No, I'll just do, I'm doing
And in
40, 40, and 10 is perfect.
and if you want to add any of these in later, you can. All you gotta do
Right.
is cut it and just, I can give you some more of these pieces here and you can.
Oh, I'll end up being able to get one of these. It's like, that's fine, just know what to do is a big part of it for me.
I printed these out. If anybody wants a file that has a printer, they're welcome to it. I actually designed that one myself. I didn't like any of the ones that they had on the web, so I don't Thingiverse, so I made my own.
Good ones on the table, though.
It's just backwards. Nope, it did it.
Did it good, you think? Oh, that one's on there good. All right, we got one more.
Between 1425 and 14350.
Yeah, where do you want it? I done it for, I think I done my measurements. I was
Here.
doing for a single sideband.
Okay, so I should be in the middle of the band or towards the
Well,
high end?
if you look at so it'll be in between these, in this green area, anywhere from 14,150 to 14,350.
Okay.
That's CW down in this end.
And so the general.
Yeah, 14,175.
So what is these old? No, that's.
That's zero, advanced, and extra.
Oh, got you. Okay. That's right. Text not even on the computers.
No.
That's nice and good. All right, so that first part is done. I have, y'all can still hear me, yeah. 2 little separations. Okay, now we need to cut our next, we need to cut the next bit. I like to slide off the table. There. Radio paperweight. All right, so we need to cut 8 feet 2 inches. Oh, whoa, that scared me. There we go. I gotta figure out this tripod better. All right, let's cut our markings here.
So this one's 2 meters. What for the first?
So we're gonna do
10 meters, that's 20 meters. This is the full length.
What time zone's Huntsville in?
Let me know.
Same as Central Time
It's,
Zone.
yeah, it's central.
Okay. I was thinking, because down here, 10 o'clock's the new midnight, or 9 o'clock's the new midnight. And I was thinking they're still busy rattling away after 10.
Yeah, the Florida Georgia line is the time zone. I should say the Georgia Alabama line.
Let's cut this to 8 feet.
So whenever we.
8 feet. I'm gonna cut my second cut to 8 feet 3 inches.
Okay.
That's gonna be my.
That's for 8 and 8, yeah.
That's for I'm doing
No, that's right.
20. I'm doing 20 and 10 are my bands. What are your bands? 20 and 15.
I'm doing 20 and 10.
Okay, so yeah.
So we did just get 10. 20 will be another 8 feet 3 inches.
Yes. Yes, you're correct. Okay. Measurement.
I can just hold it for you.
This should be about.
I printed these these are actually printed in PETG instead of PLX, so they'll have it on the side. Actually, the center one that I printed, actually is not. These are printed in PETG, these were PLX. Didn't get it at the time. These parts was out. But if it ever has a problem, you know, I can see it.
Oh, yeah, sure. Here, I got you.
You don't need the bow.
You don't need those for 30.
You need this at the end.
Oh,
But
all right. Put your guys back on the tripod here. Okay. So now I think I know what we have to do. From here, I believe we just put them through and we just kind of copy.
What now? So now you got your other piece of text. All right, feed it through.
same way.
Yep.
We go up.
I was gonna make one of these ahead of time so everybody could see what we were doing.
Yeah, that would have been cool. So like that. Up. Then.
Are you videoing yourself?
No, well, we do a weekly net.
No, I mean, you got it pointed down, video on your ability.
Yeah, I'm showing my build to the guys who are watching.
Oh, I see. So you're going to tie each
They
end
don't-
of it to
mostly
that
don't count
connector,
our
and then
meetings.
when you unplug it, the thing's still hanging up.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, we're
Now I get it.
Yeah.
In other words, you put the entire antenna up for mechanical support, but you disconnect the pieces that you don't need for the band.
Exactly.
What's the H?
That's a really cool idea, guys.
Yeah, it's all 3D printed too.
Yeah. And the truth is, you can make that 3D printed part without the 3D printing if you needed.
Yeah, definitely. You just need a piece of wood or plastic.
I could make that with just literally a square piece of plastic, and I drill some holes in it.
Yeah.
And I put my connector in it and 2 holes to tie my lines on. Although it is nice the way they built those.
All right. All right, now we just got to put our connectors on here and crimp them.
It's probably better. Hey, you want to test this at 40 right now before you do the test? Okay, you're just going to use it for 40. 20. Well, it's easy to make that a 20. We just got to cut it right in half.
Here's our other side of the connector.
That's what we're doing. That's what you guys do. Make it shorter and longer. Yep. It's a length of dipole. No, these are for soda and stuff, mainly. We could if we was had the right connectors. Oh, yeah, we could do it. But these are more for, I want to make this light easy to carry around, like your backpack or carry places when you want to go to a photo and soda.
I messed it up.
Break it? Oh, yeah.
No, I didn't break it.
Just, it'll go on the wire. It won't hurt the wire. Just wait. No, just.
There you go. There we go.
Yeah, these don't have a release. That's the only thing I don't like about it.
Yeah, I was wondering.
You ready? Did you crimp it?
No. I was had it sliding around.
It's amazing what works. You got a little bit one first wire.
There we go. The other side here.
I don't suggest this in the rain.
Well, I've used it in the rain already, and it still was performing great.
You can take a G5 RP. Play around with it. Use a G5 RP. Lay it on the ground. That's like a beat, but the last 10 feet. Make it like a W. So it looks like a crazy looking.
So now you got less of your last piece of wire. Just put one connector on and you're okay. Or actually, it's 2 connectors. You can put one into this wire and then one on that wire. So that's something for both ends. Yeah. Now you need to put one more insulator on here and on that end and on.
Oh, okay. So how long do these? We just leave this.
You can measure it and see what it is.
This is for the 40.
Well, yeah, it's going to be the rest of the antenna to make it a full 40.
You already put this, so.
They're probably a little long, but you can leave them long and just wrap them around your insulator. Like see how that's wrapped up around that? Oh, and that'll shorten your that end.
It should be about the same.
All right, that's. Oops. I got it too loose the first time, so I redid it, and now it's a lot better. I'm just going on the chat here. No, he is not wacky. He's just a ham radio operator. Hi. What? What is this talking about? All right, so, oops. Now the rest of it is just sitting over there, and I'm just gonna do the same thing again.
Yeah. I'm taking his youngest to the hockey game in the match.
This is super cool. This is so cool. It's not automatic would be my only complaint. You have to go out there and physically connect or disconnect your bands, but that's still like super cool. I probably still leave it on 40 all the time, but if I feel like I want to do 20 for a while, it's not a big deal to have to go out there and change it. Am I muted? No. Okay, good.
That is a really good idea.
Yeah.
I had an answer to go this, but I didn't have time to show it. Oh, no. I can. It's out on Giggle Parts website. Talking about which video? Well, the one for the for this. Yes. I don't think I can. Yeah, Polo.
All right, now we just gotta do this again.
We don't have that one either. Oh, this is the end.
It's a very small warehouse.
What am I confused?
It hasn't been easy, but you can somebody wants something, use that into email software. Because as soon as you get it, you get what you want. And so people think that because we're on so many e-commerce platforms. That's very high. I'll sell you a Raspberry Pi.
$800.
Yeah. I paid $90 for to get it.
That's like a $30 item.
Yeah.
Use my radio as a paperweight. Keep them sliding off the table.
My luck, it would just snatch the radio off the table too.
We're not putting tricks, we're not putting connections on the ends of these.
We are. Hold on. So what step are you at? So the leftover wire, that you just make a link out of, as far as I know.
That should be the one that goes 40 meters.
Yeah. Just repeat the process again.
So we are connecting two connect. We have one connector connected.
Yeah.
Each
wire will have two total of these things on it.
Okay.
Yeah. Strip this wire. Man, I gotta say, guys, this is really cool. It's the kind of stuff F-Mark totally had the resources to do, but never did.
I know.
Webpage, type in my last name, and look what I have available on my open box and use.
Also, I really love this crimper. This thing.
It looks like a dinosaur head.
Yeah. This thing makes it so easy. And then it's just crimped like it will not let go. That's fantastic.
And those crimpers, you can change those die and use them to crimp coax or Anderson power poles and do all kinds of things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's got a 65. That's a nice one. That's their version of a valve.
I fell on the floor. There's that one. Man, this is gonna make the wire so much more tangly though. Now that you've got these lumps on it.
Well, I'll tell you what I've learned about wire antennas. They're best when you don't have to put them up or take them down.
Yep.
I hate taking down and putting my wire antenna up. Oh my God. And I got mine's made out of that really stiff wire that it all has to be twisted the right way or it just goes like a spring.
Oh yeah. Yep.
What kind of wire is that, Joseph?
This is 20 gauge, I think they said. I would guess it's called speaker wire, but I don't know exactly.
It looks like just strenuous copper, like automotive wire.
Yeah, it's
or electrical wiring that you get at the Home Depot or something like that.
Yeah.
So there's your link right there. So my antenna is done now, I think.
Tell you what, now that if you go to like somebody like the wireman, you can get that antenna wire. It's more expensive, but it's if you have to take that antenna up, put it up, and take it down a lot, it's worth it because then it doesn't tangle up so bad.
All right, let's see if we can stretch this thing out. We're gonna go on a little adventure here to see if it was possible to stretch this out all the way. Make sure it looks right.
I'm sure they probably printed those spacers too.
Yep, they did. They're all, you can see the lines and everything. All right, let's go.
See, I'd have to change my template for those so that it put the like a little logo in there or something.
Oh yeah, that's an easy mod to do. Yeah, you could definitely do.
You know, if you were going to build a few of these, you could even make those where they said like 2040 on them. You know.
That's right.
Oh yeah, yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
It's amazing how simple an antenna can be and how complex an antenna can be.
Yeah.
Both to achieve the exact same job.
Yeah, that's right.
So here we go.
Like with anything else, what you give up with this antenna is space and convenience. But what you get is a great performing antenna.
Oh man, does it perform? It really does perform well. Couldn't be happier with it. It
Now,
performs.
this goes down to 40, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
When you have all the links connected, that's 40.
Yeah. Okay.
But the original design was 40.
Yeah.
This is pretty sweet. Oh, they're doing a antenna analyzer out here outside. Let's go see what they're doing.
Guys in Lawrence County, we're on top of it.
Run.
What are they doing?
Would you like to buy a radio?
Yes.
I got some good deals here. They're used, gently used.
That's the best kind of ham radio.
They're out of stock right now. $180 to take it home. So we have a ladder here.
Is someone going to come out? Do they say what they're doing?
There was a person out
The other Steve was out here a second ago.
Okay.
I think we're gonna
That ladder's good. You're already up 16 feet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Put a stick on that thing.
Yep. Analyzer. Yeah, I'd like to. Yeah, it's done. If I can get it, if it doesn't take too long to set up to analyze it, I would like to.
I'm the guy that's got a 30-foot pole on a tripod sitting above on top of my shed because I wanted the extra 6 feet.
Oh, gee.
That's ghetto.
I had to sit it up on my shed because I wanted that extra 6 feet.
We got a whole bin of ice. So how's yours coming along here?
I think I'm almost done, but I might be out of connectors. I might have to pick up some of my own and finish this.
Oh, are they out of connectors? Well, you could go. I don't know if you could go to the blues. Maybe they might be too small or too big.
Yeah,
Too big.
They're a little too big.
I can do that on my own. That's not a big
Well,
deal.
what if instead of using those, you use the butt splice? I don't know if those are the right size either. Yeah, well, actually, you can't use those because they don't connect to each other.
What about the round ones? Isn't there some round ones in there?
Yeah, bullet. What are these called? Bullet connectors?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If there's 2 of those in red, that would work just as
Here.
good as the blades.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's see here. Here we go. You
That's
could
all you
totally
need right there.
There you go.
bullet
Got
connectors. How many do you
Yeah, you're set to go.
Um,
You need 2 pairs of them.
need? More of the red bullet connectors. Here we go. Here's a couple.
I think I've owned about 50 of them little piece kits like that over the years. I want that drill bit set though, man. Look at that.
No,
Man,
that's a nice drill bit.
It's like 1,000 drill bits in there.
Everything from 5/8 down to dentistry.
wait, that's oh, that comes the other way. I see.
Yeah, from dentistry to masonry, we've got you covered.
That's right.
Now, do you know how to use this?
Yeah, it's really easy. You just let it open, and then just set that on the frontmost teeth, like
The front.
yep, just like that.
And,
Squeeze it down.
and that's it.
That's how you do it right there.
And I need.
When you're done, you might want to stretch it out on the floor just to make sure all the things aren't backwards. I always mess stuff like this up. I get one end plugged into the other end, so it's just a loop.
Good work, too.
Yeah, I'm always really proud of myself right before I realize what I just did.
That's when I started
Horse
reading.
pride comes to fall. Yeah.
Go.
The other way.
Yeah, you need to get over here.
After the pride comes to fall.
I better get mine. Yeah. Someone's gonna take mine. I'm gonna be like, man, who's?
Then you'd have to start over.
Yeah, someone's gonna take it home, man. Oh, I think they're doing the analyzation now. Are they doing it? Did they test it yet?
Kinda.
Who has the analyzer?
It's in there on the
Guys,
table.
must be coming. I don't know where it went.
Oh, is he the guy in the red coat?
You ought to get your antenna and get it analyzed.
Where are you going? Are you going to find it? Well, no, you
You
carry
know,
this.
I swear to God, ham
What is it?
radio is one of the only things in the world where 8-year-olds and 80-year-olds are working hand in hand on stuff.
Isn't
And
that
they're all right there doing it all, and they're all just happy.
And I think they got water in them and they stopped working.
Whatever happened to there's a guy here I meant to talk to, but he's gone, I guess. All right, let's collect this up here. Go analyze it. My Nano VNA, it just decided to randomly it wasn't going to power on ever again. I don't know what happened. Yeah, after we moved, I stored it in a case and everything, and we got here and I tried to turn it on and just no signs of life whatsoever. It doesn't matter if it's plugged into USB or on battery. I let it try and charge. It's just completely dead. I can't see any damage on it. I have no clue what happened.
That's weird. I never had an ounce of problem with it.
Yeah,
I
I
used
didn't
it
either
quite
before.
a bit when I first got it. Till I got my MFJ. I'll tell you what, once you get an MFJ, it's kind of hard to go back.
Actually, I should bring a tripod. We do a weekly net on Zoom back in it's called the Southwest Florida Tech Net. It's on we stream on YouTube and we stream on Zoom, and we have a bunch of people come in here and we usually do like a topic or something for the night. Tonight we didn't have a very big topic planned, so I said, why don't I bring the camera along to this? It's on the same night. Oh yeah, I took him on a tour earlier. Yeah, it's been good so far. Yeah.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah.
They recorded?
It's recorded on YouTube. So if you just go on YouTube and search Southwest Florida Tech Net, that's what it's called. That's where all the archives are and everything. No, it's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm bringing the camera and tripod. I think that's what he had. I'm not sure. I'm going out there now.
I think I saw the donuts. It's officially a ham radio meetup.
Wait, are you serious? Donuts somewhere? Because I didn't see donuts.
I thought I saw a Dunkin' Donuts box.
I'll make it an
I was a cop years ago, and we were trained to spot those from like a mile away.
Oh yeah. On the phone?
Yes. You've been going all night?
I'm on. It won't show me now, but yeah, I've been going for most of it. I stopped it for a while during the meeting. I streamed the first 15 or so minutes of the meeting, and then I stopped it. But I've been going for a while since then. It's probably still. I'm getting a little low now, but I should be good to go for the rest of the night. Here we go. All right, I'm going out here.
On the ladder.
So you should put that ladder right by the door and make everybody exit under it, and that way everybody will have bad luck.
Yeah, that'd work out great.
No, I believe in I believe in being fair, you know.
Sure is.
I guess they're using the ladder just for something to put the thing up on to test it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think the metal ladder is going to interfere with the readings.
Yeah, mostly fiberglass.
Yeah, I'd say that one looks like. Okay.
The steps are aluminum and the uprights are fiberglass. I have the exact same ladder here at the house, except I think mine's a 12 and that's more like a 16 or an 18, I think.
Probably a 16.
I get my coat.
My brother gave me 2 or 3 ladders, and they've come in so handy since I got my license.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, this is such a simple design. There's really nothing that could get messed up as long as you got good connection.
Yeah, that's not something that's going to be too difficult to troubleshoot.
Oh, we got to see what the readings are. Hang on, I gotta get my gloves on. It's so cold out here. I am not used to the cold.
Can't believe it's what, 700 miles from here?
Just write one more time. Hang on. Okay. So probably about halfway between.
Shoot, it's downright tropical down here.
Boy, it's been hot
I
here.
think it's 66 for a low tonight and like 198% humidity.
Yeah.
I want to cut everybody's.
Look at
This
that
is the 20 meter section only? 10 meter only. Okay.
First cut. What we're trying to do is apparently my calculations from what the calculated, we're a little long.
A little long? Well, that's better than having them short.
That's
Yeah,
better than
Always
it
better to be
short.
long than short. Ask any guy.
So get it shorter, just
So
to,
about 2 inches, did you shorten it or lengthen it rather?
yeah.
Yeah, I know. I had to get my coat and gloves. And
I didn't
everything.
bring mine out here. I should have grabbed it.
You just
Well, so if you shorten it,
Make sure about the same.
if you shorten these right here, isn't that going to make when it's fully assembled to 40 meters? Isn't it going to be
We,
off?
no, that's why our whole wire was 2 foot long
Yeah,
to begin with.
Right. We did have extra. That's right. Okay.
So that's why we're,
I might have had about, I had about 2 foot extra.
So most of
Well,
the
no.
extra is probably on the end.
foot and a half. So we made them 34 and they're supposed to be about 32.8, 32.6, depending on which part of the band you want to be in.
That's good. Forgot about that.
I'd have got. Why didn't you make it a 160?
Yeah, because we all have real estate for.
Yeah, because the other end would be over at that Subway over there, but that's all right.
33 degrees in Huntsville. It's rather chilly night.
To go ahead,
Wow.
Yeah. I clicked on my thing here.
want to
It's a full 30 degrees colder there than it is here.
your wire there.
Okay.
So now remember, you're going to have about this much more wire added in here for your cut.
Yeah.
So you may want to pull a little bit more through.
Okay. Wrap it up tight so.
What are you looking at the clock for?
10 o'clock already. Hour past your bedtime.
What's that?
Once you cut that, then we need to twist your other wire on and see where we're at.
Pick that lamb.
Pick that.
Yeah, we gotta get going sooner. You,
Mine says this.
Yeah, you just want to check yours at 40? Is that what you want to do? Okay, let me run his up and we'll check it. Okay.
Hell, it's an hour later here than it is for them.
Yep. I really want to put mine on the analyzer too.
Where you
can.
where you want mid
After that,
of,
I'll
40?
if you wear a
7
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
7 point.
So if I get it
See the-
to at mid
we see the bail bond shop right next to the other bail bond shop.
It's pretty good. It's just it may not be 1-to-1. It's gonna be less than 1-to-1 at the end. Do you run an antenna or lead top? You run any kind of antenna tuner?
I don't.
So a 7300 has a tuner in it. Yeah.
So your tuner on your thing will adjust that for you. You go to the other ends of the band, so
Okay.
you should be okay.
Three in Huntsville.
I wouldn't change it if you want to be able to run CW and voice. I can do that if you want to go in and do yours, Mark. But you, well, so you, bring it tonight because I left it over it. John, we don't have your insulators on the end, so we're gonna have to. Yeah. Yeah. We'll have to
Do you need? I can go run in and get them.
That's all right.
I'll go get them.
40 meters from
Yeah, 20 meters each way,
it's 40 meter halfway.
40 meter halfway.
Center foot notified.
You have a piece of rope.
Yeah, he fixed it. He just tied it to the wire and it worked. We pulled it up without putting our coax on there, Mark.
About 12 feet.
I wasn't thinking, Mark.
pulled it up and I put the show. I told you.
That fly was 12.
I got two of the little link insulators.
Where's your piece of
What? Two ground planes? Oh, the round planes?
Where'd y'all move from?
Fort Myers.
Oh, yeah, this is.
Southwest Florida, all around the world.
Yeah, it's a little different weather here.
I lived there for like 10 years.
It's 72 here. 33 in Huntsville.
Y'all still doing okay? Oops.
Yeah,
Y'all still doing okay over here?
we're hanging in there.
All right. I'll probably be signing off here soon. My battery's getting low on the phone and we got to go home.
I keep telling you it's 33 degrees there. You probably want to go home.
Need me to hold the other end?
Yeah, somebody. Let's want to go, Mark. What? I would say on the camera, can we match?
Good call.
Yeah, let's match the winds.
I'll come around your side.
No, you stretch out.
Oh, you're on match full. I thought you were match full. Oh, man. Once it's short, it's short. With RM, you
All right.
It's like the wire that's not insulated.
Okay, for 1.5, it's 7.16.
Little bit.
So you want to go higher. So you want to go a little higher. I'd go about 4 more inches. About 4 more inches.
All right. Well, guys, I guess we're all still here. I think they're getting ready to test this thing.
1.5 and 7.26. It's going to be different once you do the higher. Yeah, see, the higher you go, the more
Yeah.
more it's cause a lot of differences. So,
Micah?
Yeah.
So just, what was just telling, don't just leave these, racks in there. Yeah, just take them up, just put your insulator.
How are y'all hanging out over here? Oop, didn't mean to do that.
We're hanging in there.
Everybody's still.
Yeah. I can tell you guys that I'm just about ready to go. I gotta go to bed.
I think he's.
Yeah, we're about ready to end this too.
I've been
We're
sitting
just
here
gonna
playing.
do-
I've been messing with my rig. I think something might be wrong with my rig because I have no transmit power now on HF.
It's gonna affect you too.
Yeah, so I don't know what's going on.
Well, if it's okay with you guys, I'll go ahead and end it now because my battery's gonna die.
Yeah, we're I think we're all about done. All right, man. Well, I do appreciate it. Please pass along to them that we appreciate them taking us along for the ride.
Yeah.
Second week of March.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and say 73 to everybody on the net. It's nice being able to do this along with everybody.
All right.
Yep, it's awesome.
Been fun.
All righty, Joseph. We'll see you next week, buddy, and maybe we'll talk to you the next few days.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if I got to figure out my rig in the morning. I don't know what's going on. I can't believe this. I'm a little nervous that it's not putting out anything. It's still receiving, and when I go up to VHF and UHF, it seems to still be putting out. So I'm a little concerned tonight.
Do we have? Do you not want to test mine? We don't have to if you don't want.
Yeah, if you want to, I'll have a thing if you want to test it.
I'd rather test it just real quick because our analyzer's not.
Are you cutting yours?
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, guys. Listen, I'm gonna go ahead and call it. Does anybody have anything else, real quick, before we end the net?
Probably gonna have to. What I was just telling them, we've got another build night coming up.
Yeah.
Second week in March. I'll go ahead and do the testing that night. So we
Okay.
get up higher.
Yeah. Or, well, if
I'm gonna bring
it, I'll probably just test it at home then once we dig our animal.
Okay. All right. I'm just gonna mute them. They're talking about when they're gonna test his antenna. All right, guys. If does anybody have anything else, real quick, before we go?
Can't
All
think of anything else. Good luck with them. What kind of radio is that you're having trouble with?
It's my FT100.
Huh.
Oh, those
You know
things are
what?
bulletproof.
They are bulletproof.
Did
but
you try
I already-
switching it off and switching it back on again?
Yeah, I've power cycled the signal link, the radio, the USB plug, and the computer, and that didn't resolve it. So, but remember, I just started using the signal link on here a week ago. Worst case scenario, I'll hook the old system back up and see if I can get it going. I'll throw a mic on it, see if I can talk on it. I'll just see if I got a transmit power left. But
Yeah.
right now, it's showing 0 output power. But that being said, with single sideband, if you don't put any audio in, it won't show any power out.
So they're saying out.
Exactly.
So I don't think it may not be my transmitter.
Can you put it over to CW and hit tune and see what happens?
or use FT8 and press tune.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm in FT8. That's what I'm using. See, when I go to CW and press tune, it does the meters don't show anything. When I go to FM and I hit tune, it shows output power on FM.
Okay.
That's an FT8 issue.
Yeah, I think it's an audio issue from my FT8. I also started using a new FT8 program tonight, that WSJTX. I went and I'm using the WXJTZ, and I may uninstall that in the morning and see if that resolves my problem. I sure hope I can get it going. I wanted to do that FT4 contest in the morning, get a bunch of contacts, but we'll see what happens.
Sure, you'll get it.
I think so.
There's a contest tomorrow morning?
Yeah, it's an FT4 contest. It's in the newsletter I sent out.
There's a
just
bunch of
go,
contests.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
go
I'll
under
take a look.
contest.
You
Yeah,
got
there's the North
Northern-
Carolina and the South Carolina Qso Party. There's
South
also a
Carolina's
couple
on
of RITI
Saturday.
ones. Yeah.
Yeah. South Carolina's on Saturday and North Carolina's on Sunday.
And then there's an FT4 contest on both days that's being done by the FT8 folks. So I thought that one might be pretty good.
Okay, I'll give that a go.
Really? Why do you like it so much?
It's amazing. After watching that radio.
Yeah, all that is in the newsletter there.
Yeah, I didn't have time to look at the newsletter. Okay, next week I'll show you something I've been playing around with. I have never missed the opportunity to have another 6-meter antenna. I've got a 2-element 6-meter antenna. So far it works perfectly, but I haven't tried transmitting or receiving through it, but the SWR is perfect.
Right.
And it's double driven element. It's got a reflector and a director, and they're both driven.
Oh, wow.
It's a German antenna. I mean, I can wet your palette and show you a picture if you want to share.
Okay.
All right, I'm signing off.
Okay.
All right, we'll see you next week.
All right, see you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Get your phones on. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, it is. Depending upon the way you phase the signal to each element, depends on sets which way it goes. Not hitting anybody, but
Is it not going?
I'm not hearing any sound from him.
Yeah, Dave, we're not seeing your screen and we're not hearing your audio.
Okay,
There you go. Now I see you.
yeah, because if I press the space bar to talk, it makes the picture go funny. But anyway, that's the SWR 50.2. I think it's 50.2 something a little bit. Because I wanted to get it halfway between, SSB and FT8. So I don't know how I can go the other way. Oh, I see. Yeah, so that's the driven element.
Wow.
And a phasing harness in between. So it's a German antenna. One of our members, past president, owns a company in Naples. He makes actually street lights. There's something else. That's another story. But he's German, and he brought this one over from Germany. And I'm not quite sure why he didn't use it or didn't like it or whatever, but I thought, I'll give it a go. Anyway, so you can see the SW. I haven't got it up in the attic yet. I'm going to be really ambitious and point it towards Europe.
Oh, there you go.
So I'll talk about it a little bit more next week.
6
But
meters. Okay, I need.
Yeah, I do want to hear more about this because I've never seen anything like that.
no, nor me.
Yeah.
Not at all, ever. And I mean, this is it. This is my test rig outside my house. So as you can see, it's driving into the house at the moment, but that's where I got the SWR reading from.
Wow.
These are great, you know. These are speaker stands.
Yeah, I've got 3 of them.
Yeah, you can buy.
I
And
love
this is a pool pole.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for cleaning the pool, you take the rubber off the bottom and you cut the end off, and you can adjust it up and down from there. But they fit in there perfectly. I've got and a painter's pole. Painter's pole fit in there. I've got an 18-foot painter's pole that goes up. No, actually, it's a 10-foot, goes up to 20 foot. So
I've got the exact same tripod you've got there, and I've got the piece that goes down inside it that extends up one length.
Yeah, that's that.
And then on top of that, I have another one that extends up about 16 feet. And then I have my Ringo up on top of that, and then I've got that sitting on top of my shed.
Oh, okay.
And then I've got 3 guys. My guy wires are these big, long bungee cords, and I've got them hooked about 10 feet or 12 feet up on that thing. I've got them hooked on a ring, and they come down to the corners of my shed, and it literally sits and attaches to my shed. But it gets my Ringo up in the 30-foot range. I mean, it's not bad.
Well, I just use it for sort of semi-portable work. If I take my buddy pole out, buddy stick and everything else. I've got one more exciting picture to show you, if I can find it.
2 of mine that I leave outside are starting to get a little rough. But what's great about them is literally sand them down and paint them again. They're good for another couple of years. Those things are they take a beating.
Yeah. I don't know if I showed you this, but this is this is the Buddy Hex at Hamcation. This is a photograph taken of a video because that's me, and this is my chauffeur. This is Craig, NC4H, but this is the Buddy Hex up and running. And I got some good ideas with that. Spent a long time talking to the guy, but anyway, that's for next week. Now, hopefully, I'll get it up, and I should have my 77's antenna. I'll give this back to you if I can remember how to take it off. Stop sharing. Yeah. I should have my 77's antenna finished pointing in your direction. I've been playing around with, I don't know if you can see this.
Yeah, I see that.
Oh, yeah.
Folded dipole.
That's my folded dipole, which is going to be the driven element.
Nice.
I've still got a little bit of work to do. I can't quite get the SWR where I want it. But, the rest of it is sitting there ready to go. But I'll give you the dimensions and everything. I used that thing I showed you the other week, a couple of weeks ago, that dimensional thing. What's it called? It won't open now. Never mind. Oh, there it is. Yeah, and K7 MEM. I used this program, so. Okay, well, I know everyone's desperate to go to bed. Me too, so we'll see you next week.
Yeah, I'm really tired. That 6 hours of broadcasting is about my limit.
Yeah,
I think my camera just froze up too. So anyway, yeah, we're having great luck here tonight.
Yeah.
So all right, yeah, you guys all have a good night, and we'll do it again. We're also going to talk about moon bounce next week because we didn't get to that tonight either. So
that'd be cool.
Hopefully, we'll see you on the log over the weekend. I'll catch you guys later.
All right, 7-3 all. Good night.